All right, what's up, everybody? Long time no see. It's your boy, the Fitness Poppy, making a guest experience here. The live stream noon class today. So thanks for checking in with me. Rick said his content is getting dry, which I highly doubt, but he wanted some backup, so here I am. Guys, we're going to start down on the ground, obviously get warmed up. But before we do, if you want to link up this playlist, I know Rick's been putting out some fire tracks. It's under his Spotify. So Rick Segrist should be in the chat. The Joel Salatin Experience. Unfamiliar with what's going on here, but I'm going to roll with it. They got a couple tracks on here that I know. You might hear me singing along. I decided I'm not wearing a shirt today all day, so I have nowhere to clip the mic. That's why you're going to hear me talking into the phone. Just the way today's going to go. I make those decisions some days, and that's how it is. I'm not even wearing any shoes either. So, like, I got a pair of shorts on. That's how I'm living my life today, guys. So, all right, we're going to start down on your side body. Yesterday was our push day. We're going to stack your knees. We're going to stack your arms. And we're going to go into these nice big openers, nice big rotations here. I was just doing that to make sure Rick knew what I was talking about. But again, Rick's going to be the star of this show. I'm just going to be the voice, just a little voiceover. So big rotations here, guys. Just taking your time warming up, trying to keep your knees squeezed together, open up that chest. Just started the playlist. Apparently, I'm a little rusty at this whole deal, guys, so my bad. Once you do one side, flip over to the other side. My boss is yelling at me. I'm making mistakes already. Whew. Got sweating under my armpits. That's why I'm not wearing a shirt. All right, guys, good work. Keep doing those openers. That's great. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit in there from that chest press, push-ups, everything we were doing yesterday. I did take the workout even though I'm not been on the Zoom. I've been taking it in class with those who have been attending in class. When you guys are ready, we're going to move on from there. We're just going to go over onto your back, hugging both your knees into your chest. Again, a lot of deadlifts yesterday, tune of 100. So we're just kind of rolling that spine up, decompressing that lower back. If you want to extend one leg out, you certainly can. Take that leg across if you want. Certainly don't have to. You could just hold a leg tall to your chest, switching your legs at your pace, your leisure, moving the hips around, whatever feels best for you. Couple on either side would be appropriate. And then feet will end up finding the floor. We'll take some bridges just to start to kind of drive those hips up off the ground. We're going to use the bridge position today as we do a lat pullover. So think about big squeeze, holding those glutes together, hips are up tall. And then once you've done a few bridges, you can widen your feet back out, feet are on the floor, and just hit a little 90-90 internal, external rotation. Back and forth here, loosen up those hips. Once those hips start to feel pretty good from that position, we'll come up onto hands and knees, in a tabletop position. Naturally, the first move we get here to do is a cat-cow, just kind of checking in, moving the spine up and down and around. Wiggle your tail side to side, checking in with your neck, your head, just kind of moving things around. And then we'll start to attack all four hinge points. We're going to go in with some hip circles when you're ready. So that knee is circling around the outside of the body from that kneeling position, forward and backwards. If you choose to do a fire hydrant or something like that, totally acceptable. Just lubricating that hip, moving it around, right side and left side in here. Hopefully you guys are all having a nice day out there. It's beautiful outside. If you haven't been outside yet, check it out. It's great. As you're getting done with both hips here, we're going to go in and move into shoulder circles from the same position. So make sure your knees are pretty wide apart, good base, and then just taking that arm circle forward and then arm circle backwards from that kneeling position. Really focus on trying to keep your belly button square to the floor. It's easy to want to compensate for shoulder mobility and open those hips up. So try to keep it closed down. Think about doing the same thing you just did with the hip, with the shoulder. Again, attacking both sides up top, back to back, side to side at your pace, your leisure. When you're done there, we will push back into a child's pose. So butt back to heels. Again, make sure your knees are split open, reaching your arms out nice and long. Again, once you find a point where your arms are at their full length, continue to move your fingers. It kind of just triggers into your mind that you're still staying active through your fingers, trying to increase the length of those lats and shoulder mobility there. Simulates that blast off position we did yesterday on those push-ups if you were with us. So nice big stretch there. And then you can walk it open to your right or to your left if you want to open up that side body. We did those side bends yesterday. So again, obliques might be a little tight. So opening those up side to side. We'll eventually come back up to that tabletop position. But again, no rush. When we do, we'll pull one foot through. So you'll have a foot out forward. We're going to use the arms, just going to go up. So bring a foot out forward. So one foot out in front. Yep. And you're just going to reach your arms up. Nice, big, deep in. Hip stretch here. And then reach across your body. Take a look over your back shoulder to a little rotation. Switch to the other side whenever you feel ready. We'll go back and forth a couple times. You can floss into that position. Happy to move your front foot a little bit further forward in your stance or out to a 45 or whatever you want as you get to that second, maybe even a third time, whatever is best for you. But again, just kind of opening things up here. Today is our squat day, so we want to make sure these hips aren't feeling super tight so we can get in there and get some good depth on our squats. Again, whatever is best, make it yours in this kneeling position. A couple on either side, and then we'll end up finding a down dog position. Again, dig those toes in, heavy hands into the floor, lifting up those hips, pedaling out those calves, hamstrings. Again, you should definitely be feeling those hamstrings. 50 isolated deadlifts on the right, 50 on the left yesterday for a total of 100. Got mine good and lit up here. So eventually walking yourself up to standing, bring yourself all the way up. Once you get all the way up, we're going to take and put our hips in a barrel. Just work those hips all the way around, just touching the front, the sides, the back, working all the way around, just moving those hips around. Rick is going to seductively take his overshirt off here and start to get warmed up. He's sweating. He's ready to rock. He's going to beat this workout up. Once you do that, guys, go ahead and take some good mornings. Checking in with that lower back. Push the booty back. Pull those abs in each time you do. Driving back. Maybe take one where you pause at the bottom and then kind of wiggle side to side at that 90 degrees. So kind of checking into the outer glutes, seeing if there's any tightness on one side or the other. It can really isolate that low back. If that's feeling pretty good, we're going to go into a pendulum lunge. So just stepping forward and backwards with the same leg into a lunge. Maybe call it 2 or 3 forward, 2 or 3 backwards. Again, each time, maybe reaching a little bit further. Again, opening up those hips, much like we did when we were in that kneeling position. More active version of this. Good, back and forth here. Once we get done there with our pendulums, we're going to get our arms out to the side, take a few air circles. Think about floating from the wrist. That way we're not jamming our traps up into our neck. Let that tension go. Again, if you need to move your neck around like we did in the cat-cow position, certainly do that around here. And then we'll go into some sort of a pull apart. It can be standard middle. It could be high lows. Again, start to just activate that back and at the same time, open the chest. Again, a lot of chest press, push-ups we did yesterday. Squeezing that back, getting it ready for some work here. From there, we're going to move into a nice, easy lateral lunge. We got some of those and some curtsy lunges coming today. So maybe a lateral lunge into that leg behind, simulate that curtsy lunge that we're going to do. So lateral into curtsy. We're not working any combination moves today. Today we're working 5-minute AMRAPs, only 2 movements. Some of it's single leg, some of it's bilateral movement, but got a good one planned for you here today. So a couple laterals, a couple curtsies, moving back and forth. And then if that's feeling pretty good, we're going to go and hinge over, put our hands on the floor, walk it out to a high plank. Once you get out to a high plank, rotate up right, rotate up left, and then walk it back in. We're going to go in and out 2 times. So wide base, big rotation, stack those shoulders again, squeeze that back, open that chest. Now from a more loaded position here in our shoulders. And then we'll walk it back in by lifting up those hips, again, stretching those hammies out. Reach to the sky. Let's do some push-pulls as we're up and down here. Squeezing that back, simulating a pull-up, and then walk it out again one more time, all the way out. Again, throw in that rotation out there. Very valuable here. Rotating up right, rotating up left. Then walking back up tall. Again, we'll do the same thing. Throwing a few more push-pulls, reaching tall to the ceiling. Squeezing that back, simulating that pull-up position. Down and up, driving up and down. Started throwing a few high kicks out front when you're ready. Step and kick right out front. A cross body is always ideal. That way we're closing that chain down right to left, left to right. Don't have to be able to touch the toe. Just need to get that leg straight. That's going to start us into a little bouncing motion. Get us right into some jumping jacks when you're ready. Just starting to get that blood flowing. Taking those hands behind and front, whatever feels good. Butt kickers would maybe come next. Again, shaking out those legs, getting that blood flowing. Hopefully those quads are feeling mushy and soft and not tight. A few twist hops, twist them around, just loosening things up. You can throw in some little skips. Again, activate those legs, driving up, skipping. And then last thing, just a little lateral movement. It could be an ice skater, it could be a shuffle, whatever you want, just moving side to side. Again, we're gonna get right into the meat and potatoes this workout, guys. Again, it's a 5-minute AMRAP. It's gonna be 2 moves. I'm gonna demonstrate what those are. Actually, I'm gonna have Rick demonstrate what those are because I'm gonna be talking into the microphone and I don't think I have 3 hands. So he's gonna grab a kettlebell off the rack. Our first movement, guys, we're gonna be down on our back. We're gonna be in a hip bridge position. So our heels are in close to our butt. Our hips are up the whole time and we're gonna do 8 lat pullovers. So Rick's gonna demonstrate what that looks like. Heels are in close to his butt. He's holding up the whole time. His arms are straight. He's gonna reach all the way back, touch the bell, pause, exhale, pull over, keeping his hips up the whole time. He would do this for 8. Then he's gonna simply pop up. You can hold a center rack kettlebell. You can hold a low rack, but a neutral stance, 10 squats is all we're gonna do. Those are gonna be your 2 movements. They're gonna be super simple. A bridge lat pullover for 8 and 10 weighted squats. So we're gonna go ahead and turn this timer on. Again, it's a 5-minute timer, guys. We're gonna get moving. The goal is that we get 3 rounds through this. So again, it doesn't have to be fast. It just has to be good quality control. So we're gonna start in about 10 seconds. We're gonna get Rick down on his back, bridge position. Bell's gonna be up in the air. We are at 8 of them, guys. We're starting in 3. Heels are in close to your butt, hips are up. We're starting in 2. And let's begin. Again, reach it back, pause, exhale, and pull it over. Think about that you're attacking underneath of the armpits here. Big reach, the shoulder mobility that we worked on yesterday in those blast off push-ups, now with a weighted variation pulling over. Again, this is for 8 reps. So again, as soon as you're done with your 8, no need to rush, but you're gonna pop yourself up, determine how you're gonna hold your kettlebell, and you're gonna give me 10 squats. It's literally gonna be those 2 movements back and forth for the next 4.5 minutes, guys, okay? So again, if you have the option to have a couple different weights and you wanna start with the lighter one, that's fine. We're just gonna take 10 squats, right on center, thinking about your abs being tight. Again, whatever depth you go to is completely up to you. Couple different looks at it from side to side. I would recommend when you're done with those 2 movements, take a second, work back down to the floor. That's just been 1 minute. Again, I'd say 10, 15, up to 20 seconds in between after you get that combination done, and then you're right back to it. Should easily be able to get 3 rounds, possibly a 4th if you're one of those people that works a little bit faster. But again, hip bridge, hold it up maybe a bit higher. Think about almost wiggling the toes while you're doing this, okay? The weight's in the heels, squeezing the glutes, big reach, pause. I like to say plug in those shoulders and then pull them over. Okay, you often hear me say that. Pause, plug, pull, the 3 Ps on a lat pullover. Again, it's for 8 reps. Again, nice shoulder mobility, letting it touch the floor. And then exhale, use your air to pull it over. Think about squeezing those little musculatures inside the ribs, the lats, all the way down. You should even feel this through your abs right here, okay? Nice big pulls, again for 8, and then you're just popping up for another 10 squats. Okay, we do have some sumo squats coming later where I would typically tell you to alter your foot position. I would either keep it with a very narrow foot position or that standard neutral. We're gonna get to that sumo one later. Again, it's 10 on the squats. We've now been working for 2 minutes. Okay, we got 3 minutes left. Again, just at your pace, take your time. Again, 3 rounds was the goal. If you get a little bit extra, that's always great. Again, if you're out there and you're like, how do I get better at pull-ups? I would love to get better at pull-ups. Here is your answer, the lat pullover. This is great for any shoulder injuries. It helps to stabilize that shoulder as well as creating these very strong lats. Right now, we're only dealing with 35 pounds. Obviously, you can work your way up to whatever weight you feel comfortable with. But this is the great way to train your lats for muscular endurance before you go and ask to pull your whole body weight in a pull-up. Again, this is 8 reps, as Rick's demonstrating the plug, the pull over here. So taking your time here, nice and easy, getting these lats going. When he's done with his 8, he'll be back up to his 10 squats. Again, we're at the 3-minute mark, guys. We got plenty of time. He's completing his 3rd round. Looks like we may get 4 rounds in house. He's opting for a little bit heavier weight. Okay, that's some good self-discipline there. He needs it, he wants it, so we gonna get it. Notice, guys, as he's squatting, his abs are tight, his breathing pattern, he's almost holding his breath to the bottom, exhaling to the top. Okay, if you're wearing shoes at home or you're not wearing shoes, think about it as you squat, you wanna put a lot of pressure into the heels and into the pinky toes. So the outside of the foot, okay? We're trying to avoid getting into the big toe. All that's gonna do is dump it into the middle and load that inner part of your quad. We're trying to build that outer part of your quad, give you a little bit more grounded balance to the floor. Okay, we got just about a minute left here. Rick's getting into his 4th set. Again, if you need to adjust the reps here because maybe 8's just becoming too much, maybe 5's a better number, especially for this 4th set if you're with us here, totally fine. Again, hips are up, squeezing. Pause, plug, and pull is what we're looking for here. As soon as Rick's done with his 8 reps, 10 more squats, and it'll be just about your 5-minute timer, guys. We'll talk about your 2 new movements, and we'll get you on down the line. So again, as you're squatting here, controlling your breath, big exhale to the top, thinking about driving your knees out. And part of driving your knees out is getting into the pinky toe or the outside of that foot, getting into the bottom of that squat. We have about 20 seconds left here. If you're still working, if you've made it through 3 to 4 rounds and you're feeling pretty good, feel free to set your weights down. If you're still working, you got about 15 seconds out there. Rick's gonna give it a pause here in house. He's earned it. About 10 more seconds, guys. If you need the time. Looks like on the screen, everyone's just about done. Some people are still getting some squats and pullovers. Kudos, guys. Way to work for your time. And that is it, guys. That's your 5 minutes. Really, really good work. We're now going to move into a unilateral movement. Okay, those are both bilateral. Again, that just means we're working both arms, both legs at the same time. We're going to work in a unilateral here. We're going to go into a snatch. How you do your snatches, again, dumbbell or kettlebell, up to you. But it starts from the floor, between your legs. Power all the way up to the ceiling. Drop down to half rack and back to the floor. If you'd like to alternate, you certainly can. It's 5 on the right, 5 on the left, or you can do all 5 right, all 5 left. Same exact thing with the next movement. It's a curtsy lunge. We're going to hold it center, and we're going to be doing that curtsy lunge where that knee comes across, just like we did in the warm-up. You can alternate to the same side. If I was doing this workout, I would probably do 5 snatches right, 5 snatches left, 5 curtsies right, 5 curtsies left. When I got to the second time, I would then probably either alternate to go to the other side, and the third time I got to it, I would do the other one that I hadn't done. So all right, all left, back and forth, and then switching sides, guys. So again, just variation would be ideal. Snatches from the floor, guys. We're going to start in about 10 seconds. Again, you got 5 on each side. This is one of the songs I know. This is Kevin Gates, 2 phones. Here we go. In 3, in 2, and let's go. Yanking it up overhead, guys. We got 5 snatches on the right. 5 snatches on the left. Again, notice the power is coming from his core and from the legs. His arm is just an extension of the kettlebell, punching through it at the top. Rick does a great job pinning his bicep to his ear every time it comes to the top, making sure he has complete stabilization of that kettlebell. Great job at home. See lots of bells flying from the air into the air, so that's good. 5 on the right, guys, 5 on the left. Fantastic work there. And then as soon as you're done, working into those curtsy lunges. Again, holding from a center rack position, making sure there's no other weight underneath your feet you're going to trip on. The idea is that you keep your shoulders square to the front and try to get your knee across your body. If you have the mobility to get your knee all the way down to the floor, that's great. If you don't, that's something you can work for, okay? Not everything that we always have to do is based on weight and based on reps. There are also mobility goals and things we can think about, things we can bookmark in our brain and be like, you know what? I'm going to work on this each time, not necessarily go up in weight or reps or something like that. So kind of just check in, see where you're at, and then kind of, make a mental note and just see how much better you can be each time. 5 on the right, 5 on the left. Again, take a breath. Well over our minute mark there. We'll be back into these snatches. Those snatches are a lot more powerful, a lot more dynamic, takes a little bit more air and cardiovascular than those lat pullovers in the first one. So take a little time. Even if it's 30 seconds, not a big deal. You got it, okay? You'll have 3 rounds, no problem. When you're ready for it, again, it's from the floor. Yanking. If you hadn't switched arms, maybe switch the other side, okay? Just a good practice, good rule of thumb. Yanking that bell up, punching that hand through. 5 on the right, 5 on the left. Main thing we're worried about here is that it's not a press. We did all of our presses yesterday. We did the shoulder press yesterday, chest presses. We're really trying to make sure this is a pull. You're leading through your elbow, almost like a high row, and then snapping that baby off and punching the hand through the ceiling. Good, guys. Continue to breathe. Load at the bottom. Big power and explosion. Great job at home, guys. Getting it in. JR, Barbara, Elliot, always just smashing. Good job there, guys. Again, when you get done, breathe it out. Take a second. Okay? Give your body a little recovery. I'd rather you have full recovery than get sloppy reps in. Okay? Same thing on our curtsies. Load it back to center. Crossing it up as you're ready. Try to keep your shoulders square towards whatever is in front of you. And then getting that knee across behind you. Again, let that weight help to push you down, help to like drive you down. So if you don't quite have that mobility, that weight is there to help anchor you down. 5 on the right, 5 on the left. We just hit our 3-minute mark, guys. 3 minutes, so no problem. We easily got 2 minutes to take rest and get one more round. This is one of those ones that 3 is gonna be plenty, okay? Anytime you're doing an isolated unilateral movement, okay, 3 rounds, plenty of isolation on that one side. So Rick's gonna breathe it out, take 15, 20 seconds, maybe even more. Again, if he didn't alternate already with the snatches, I'm assuming that's what he's gonna do this round. If you want to at home, you certainly could join us. You don't have to. Again, most importantly is we're just even right to left, okay? Still got about 90 seconds, okay? If we're into round 3 or past that, that's what we're working with here. 5 right, 5 left, snatches, 5 right, 5 left, curtsies. Good work, guys. Moving through grouping number 2 in-house. Shorten the AMRAPs down to 5 minutes. So we have 6 of them today. So calculate to 30 minutes worth of work. Doing great. Again, we still got 1 minute left here in-house. Rick is crushing his last set of snatches, using those hips, powering through the ceiling, snapping them off. Great effort in-house today. And just so you don't think I'm dogging it, I already worked out this morning, okay? I did my workout. I got mine in today. Powering through these snatches. We're done with those. We're moving into those curtsy lunges. Still got about 40 seconds left here. 5 on the right, 5 on the left. Again, quality reps. Challenge yourself appropriately. If you're past where we are, great job. Just continue to work. Make sure you're even. Somewhere in the next 30 seconds is our timer. Okay, really good job. Continue to breathe. Knee across, abs are tight. Finishing up in the next 15 seconds. Rick's done here in house. Really nice job. There at home. Wrapping it up here in the next 5 seconds, guys. Grouping number 2 in 3, in 2, and we're done, guys. Great work. Really good job. Towel off, rest, take a break, breathe. Next 2 movements are pretty similar to kind of what we were just doing. So again, you heard me saying, as we're doing that snatch, we kind of drive that elbow up and then just let it flip up through. We're moving into a high pull. So we're gonna have 2 hands on the kettlebell, driving up, leading with those elbows. We want our elbows above our shoulders. And so again, from the side, we're pulling up and then kind of back. Obviously, you're not gonna be able to pull that kettlebell apart or dumbbell apart. But once we pull it up, we wanna kind of take a second and try to squeeze and pull it apart. From the back, I'll show you what it's gonna look like. It's gonna bring up, and then you're gonna squeeze together. Those shoulder blades are gonna squeeze together there, pinching those shoulders together. So we have 10 high pulls, and then you can hold it low, or you can hold it high. Obviously, high is a little bit tougher, but we're gonna go into lateral lunges. So again, 5 could be to the right, 5 could be to the left. You can alternate. Again, what I'm looking for is that your heel is down and your toe is forward, your booty is loading over. So again, 10 high pulls leading with elbows, and then 5 lateral lunges each way, guys. That's what we're gonna be working with. We're gonna go somewhere in the next 20 seconds here. We'll get Rick back on it. He's typing on the keyboard here in house. Got a smile on his face. Maybe it's a funny joke. Might be about me. Who knows? But that's what we're working with, guys. Again, 10 on the high pulls, pulling high, and then pulling apart, okay? That's gonna be very important. So whenever you're ready, we're gonna start from the standing position. This one doesn't start from the floor, so whenever you're ready, let's pick the bell up off the floor. Our timer goes in 3, in 2, and let's go. We're gonna pull high, leading with the elbows, and then pull it apart right there at the top. 1 or 2 seconds right there, pulling it apart. Very, very important. This goes right in along with everything we've been doing with the shoulder stability, working those rear delts, guys. 10 of these. High pulls, hold 1, 2 seconds, and kind of pulling it apart. Good work, guys. As soon as you're done with your 10, you're gonna decide how you're gonna hold your kettlebell. It's either gonna be low or it's gonna be high for 5 lateral lunges. Again, reaching out, plant your heel, toe is forward, but the push when you come back to center is very important for the work in the glute. That's what we're working on, okay? 5 on the right, 5 on the left. Really good, guys. Again, take your time with this one. 3 rounds is always the goal. We never need to be rushed. We're doing very, very well. Again, this is one of those ones we can complete both movements probably within a minute. So if you're one of those speed demons, could be 4 rounds, maybe even 4 and a little bit more. Again, you don't need to work that many. Certainly can if you want. I would suggest, again, giving yourself that 20-second break after every round, 15 to 20 seconds, just to make sure you get a little recovery before you get in. That's going to help avoid those sloppy reps. Okay, we just hit a minute here in house. Okay, chest is back up nice and tall, standing up, driving up with those elbows, and then pulling that baby back. Really, really good. Good. You can see he's driving up with his elbows and then pulling it apart at the top, activating, squeezing his upper middle back. Okay, that is where we want. Imagine you had a tennis ball right in there and you're trying to squeeze it in with your shoulder blades. Okay, pulling back, nice big squeeze. Again, don't let it come up any higher than about your chin with that bell, elbows always leading. Okay, if that bell is getting higher than your elbows, that means that weight's a little too heavy and we need to cut our reps down or we need to change something up. Okay, there we go. Elbows are always above. As soon as you're done with your 10, you're back into your lateral lunges. Okay, back into lateral lunges. Doing well. Grouping number 3, squad. Grouping number 3. We'll get through this grouping and we'll be halfway home. You guys are doing incredibly well. Just got a little message that our internet connection is a little unstable. I was going to try to make a joke with that one, but then I realized I'm not. Okay, I'm just going to leave that one alone. I'm not going to talk about what's unstable in my life. Okay, very, very good. We're just going to shake it out. Take a second. Good pace, nice and easy. Side to side again, alternating which side you started with, and then on maybe now that 3rd round, we're alternating side to side. It's great work, team. Side to side, we just went over the 3-minute mark here in studio. We're doing great. Okay, so take a breath, take a second. We're gonna be on to our 3rd round, again, with those high pulls. Again, if 10 is too much because you're doing it correctly, tone it down a little bit, okay? I have no problem with you cutting off reps as long as you're doing it correctly. And that means lead with the elbows, pull apart, big squeeze, okay? That's gonna make those shoulders a little bit more taxing than just pumping it up and down as fast as you can, okay? We're in-house, getting into our 3rd round, 10 high pulls. Again, chest tall, starting, pulling that baby up like it's the heaviest zipper you've ever zipped up with 2 hands, driving your elbows up, pulling it apart at the top. Really, really good. 10 here in-house. Very nice. Really good, guys. We just hit about 4 minutes here in-house, just about 4 minutes. If you're cruising along with us still at home, continue to work at the pace that makes most sense for you. We're done with our high pulls. We're going to be getting into our lateral lunges. We're going to alternate here in-house. We're going to get 5 more on the right, 5 more on the left. Again, plenty of time to finish out. Again, great job pushing the pace, getting those extra reps in there. But again, most importantly, not giving in or changing our form. Staying true to our form, which is very disciplined, very good quality in every rep, guys. Back and forth, side to side. About 30 seconds left here. Guys, if you're still working, we're going to be done in-house. Probably no reason to start Rick into a 4 set of high pulls. He's going to rest. Still got 15, 20 seconds for you to take it and finish it as you need. Grouping number 3 will be done, and we'll be into grouping number 4. We'll talk about what those are going to look like. 10 seconds, guys, if you're still out there with us. Keep on pushing. Even up if you're working those lateral lunges. That's most important. We're done in 3. We're done in 2. And good, squad. Very, very good job. We are at the halfway point through our workout. Give you a little rest, a little recovery. Again, we have about 15 true minutes left to work. Okay, with our breaks and explanations, we'll get you out of here right on time. Should get you right out of here right at 50, guys. So as we come back, we're going to get into a sumo position, single arm twist row. So how that's going to look, we're going to stand over the bell with a wide base. Okay, we're going to pull this bell up, but we're going to rotate. So as I start, you can see the top of my hand. Okay, you can see the top of my hand. And as I finish my row, you should be able to see the palm of my hand. So a little bit more bicep activation. We're going to do 8 on the right side, 8 on the left. Again, palm, you should be able to see the top of my hand here and then see the palm of my hand as I draw it in close to my side. 8 on the right, 8 on the left. And then we're going to hold center mass into a more of a sumo position that I was talking about last time. We did our squats. Our toes are out. We're going to squat, and as we come up, we're going to shift and do a little sumo kick back and forth. 5 on the right, 5 on the left, guys. Okay? So again, 8 rows on the right with a twist, 8 on the left, and then sumo squats with a back kick alternating for a total of 10. Okay? One of my favorite songs on this playlist, Hot Shower by DaBaby. This is fire. All right, guys, here we go. Ooh, okay. Rick's got some flow coming at you here, folks. We're going to start about 15 seconds here, 15 seconds. Okay? Again, 5 minutes, 8 twisting rows, really activating that bicep, 8 on the right, 8 on the left, and then wide base sumo stance squat with that alternating leg lift, just shifting that weight back and forth for a total of 10. All right, guys, here we go. Starting in our twist rows in 3, 2, and our 5 minute starts now. So pull with that twist. Again, you should be able to see the top of Rick's hand and then the palm if you were looking at the screen. Same thing for yourself, just twisting it up. You got it for 8, okay? Strong rows, you're going to feel it really activate that bicep a little bit more than that standard row. 8 on the right. If you need to set the bell down and stand up in the middle, please do. Okay, and it puts a little load on your core and lower back. Get back into it, tighten everything back up, and then give me 8 on the left. Okay, again, this is one of those ones we'll probably get only 3 rounds in. If you get a little bit more, that's fine, but we're just not in a hurry. Okay, this is grouping number 4. 8, each arm, single arm row with twist. 10, sumo squat with alternating leg kickbacks. Really good work. Good job, guys. Done with our rows in house. We're going to move to that center rack hold. Okay, we're 1 minute in. So again, no rush here. We're right on pace to be able to get 3 rounds. Widen those feet out. Toes are turned out a bit. Drive your knees out to follow and track your toes. Come up. Shift the weight to the right with a slight kickback. Squat again. Shift the weight to the left. Again, this is allowing you to shift that weight side to side. You're getting a lot of core strength here, even though we're not doing any core. We're just working that shift and that balance. Your body's having to adjust to that weight distribution side to side. This is a total of 10, folks. Total of 10. Still, every time you plant those feet, make sure your toes are slightly out and you're in that sumo position. We're going to make sure this squat is different than our weighted squat in grouping number 1. Really nice job. Good work here. 10 total, back and forth. If you're done, take a little break. We're done here in house. Just under 2 minutes to do that, about 1:45. So we'll pop back into our rows when he's ready. Again, just take your time. We'll get there. We'll speed up as we need to, but we're doing great. 8 rows. Rick is going to start with the other arm in house this time. Again, pulling back with the back of the shoulder, okay? Don't let your shoulder dip forward and drive your elbow down. Pulling back with the back of that shoulder. Try and drive it down deep into your lat as well, too, guys. Packing those lats in nice and tight. It's up to you to row it correctly. Okay, I don't want you to row forward and drive that shoulder into the ground, keeping it pulled back. It all starts with your posture and the base. So again, we're into the other arm here. Big rows, again, hinging over, abs are tight. 8 strong rows. You can see Rick pulling back with the back of that shoulder. Really, really good work. Matching his breathing to his movement here. Doing extremely well. Again, the count is 8, guys. The count is 8. Really nice, guys. We're done here in house. Back to our sumo squats. I'm going to call them in an hour. Good job. Again, start with those toes out. Good squats. Shifting side to side. This one we do want to alternate every time, just to condition our body to have to switch that weight distribution right to left, left to right. Total of 10. Really nice. Rick's definitely getting his work in here today, guys. Earning his weekend off. Sure he had a few adult beverages, so we're sweating him out here. Good work. Total of 10 on the squats to alternating kicks. Again, we have about 90 seconds left in this 5-minute grouping. Again, there's no rush. Again, if you get through 3 rounds, that's great. If you need to cut the reps down, also great. Okay, it does not matter. I want quality reps. Work for what makes sense for you. Maybe 5 and 5 makes a little bit more sense on your rows. Totally great. Okay, it's firing those biceps. 5 on the right, 5 on the left. Up to 8 if that's what you need. Again, we still have a minute, so there is no rush. If you're moving a little bit faster than we are in-house, that's great. You probably got through your third round or you're in the middle of it now. Really, really good work, team. We're coming to the conclusion of grouping number 4. Again, we'll have about 10 more minutes of work. Rick is going to try to get one more set of squats in. Again, he's going to get as many as he can in the next 40 seconds. Again, there is no rush. Start with a good base with your form. Toes are out. Knees follow. Squat to shift. Back and forth. Again, most importantly is that we get even side to side. Okay, don't get unbalanced here. Squeezing those glutes as you continue to kick back. Deep in those squats. Letting that weight push you to the floor. So you have 15 seconds to finish, guys. He's going to be right on track, right on pace. He's going to get there, no problem. Good work, guys. Under 10 now. Finishing out. Right side, left side. Getting nice and even here. We're done in 3. We're done in 2. And he's done right on time. Really, really good job, guys. Fantastic work. We are 4 groupings down, so 20 minutes of work down, 10 minutes left, so 2/3 of the way, guys. Our next grouping is going to be back to a 5 and 5. One is going to be a unilateral movement. One is going to be a bilateral movement, okay? We just primed up those biceps with that twisting row, so now we're going to get into a bicep curl. But what we're going to do is we're going to do the ones where we do the top end. So imagine I'm holding my weight here. I'm going to bring it down to 90 degrees only, and then right back up for 5. So starting at the top, down to 90, and back up for 5. After I've done my 5, I've let it fall all the way down to touch my thighs. Then I only bring it up to 90. So down to the thighs, and then back up. So again, 5 top in, and then 5 bottom in, okay? Just 10 total. Again, we just primed up those biceps with that twisting row. So now we're going to hammer them, okay? This is science, folks. We're scientists in here. No shirt scientists is what we are. Okay, then we're going to go into single leg squats. Okay, single leg squats, lots of different variations. You can hold the bell, you cannot hold the bell. But again, we're really focusing on your toe, your knee, and your hip being in alignment. Oops, sorry, the microphone dropped down. And we're going to drop down, tap to the floor, and coming right back up. Again, that was my fault. Not used to not having the microphone in front of my face. We're going to do 5 on the right, 5 on the left. You certainly could touch a wall, use your coffee table, put a weight in your hand, whatever you want. Well, those are your 2 movements. 5 top end curls, 5 bottom end curls, 5 single leg squats on the right and left. We're going to start here in about 15 seconds, guys. We'll utilize this time here. 5 minutes. Again, anytime you're working single leg squats, very technical movement, may go a little bit slower, so take a little bit longer. I'm cool with that. These bicep curls are going to fly through because your biceps are going to be on fire. It's going to feel like the 4th of July. It's right around the corner, baby. In fuego, heating it up. Here we go. We're going in 3. We're going in 2. And here we go, in-house. So down to 90, and then right back up. Again, 50% of the range of motion for 5 of these guys. Okay, top end curls. Make sure you're keeping your shoulders back and your glutes are engaged. After your 5, let it come all the way down. Now we're going to go 50% from the bottom up for 5. Okay, Rick's arms look like fire hoses, people, like straight pipes in-house. Okay, I wish I had arms that look like that. He's got beasts like cobra, pit snake, viper arms, okay, on the attack. Okay, 5 squats, single leg on each side. Again, choose to use a kettlebell or no kettlebell, completely up to you. Rick's gonna go no kettlebell at first. That's a great option. Getting his stability, getting his balance going. 5 on the right, 5 on the left. Again, kind of getting into the pinky toe or the outside load of that foot. That way that knee tracks right along with it. Again, if you can get to the floor, that's great. If you can't, reach to the top of that bell. And again, even if you're only making a slight movement where you're just driving those hips back and starting that squat, again, that's how you're going to teach yourself to get to that squatting position. So again, give yourself credit for what you're doing and keep working at it, okay? That's very, very important. Meet yourself where you are today. I believe that's what Catherine Morgan always tells me in my workouts. Meet yourself where you are today. So we're back to it, guys. Again, if you want to start with the bottom end curls this time, you certainly can, okay? You don't have to start with those top end. You can certainly work back to those bottom end curls, okay, for 5. And then on that 5th one, you can take it all the way up, hold it for a second, and then work that top end. These are going to get tough. There's no doubt about it. Anytime you limit the range of motion on any movement, it makes it harder because at any movement, there's a point where you can lock a weight out or use gravity to your advantage, okay? So this is tough when you shorten any range of motion down. 5 top end, 5 bottom end. Good squeezes. Notice Rick's keeping his shoulders pulled back. That way his posture isn't rounding forward. And then he's going to go right back into 5 single leg squats. Again, this time he may use the bell. He may not. Okay? We don't know. I don't even know. That's the key. We don't even know. Ricky may do something crazy. He's just going to touch it, people. He's just going to touch it. That's crazy enough for me. Okay? That's great. 5 on the right, 5 on the left. Again, keeping that chest tall if you can. I should be able to read the label on Rick's shirt. It says Patagonia. Still can read it. Okay? If your eyes look down towards the floor, your chest will follow. So keep your eyes looking up across the room. You'll know where the weight is or where the floor is. It's right underneath your foot. Okay? You got it. For 5. Again, it's just a very good cue to kind of keep your eyes up. Where your eyes go, your chest will follow. 5 right, 5 left. Nice work here in house, guys. Knocking these babies out. And then we're back to our curls. We're doing a great job. Okay, still got about 90 seconds, up to 2 minutes if we need it, on this 3rd and final set in-house. Again, where you start now, completely up to you. Top, bottom, wherever you want. But again, 5 on the top, 5 on the bottom, whatever's going to work best for you. We'll get into our 3rd set, single leg squats. We'll call it good for grouping number 5, and we'll talk about grouping number 6, guys. Incredible work. Keep it up, guys. This is a tough workout. Continue to challenge yourself. Top end curls, bottom end curls, 5 and 5, and then single leg squats, how you choose to finish off. Okay, if you're a little bit more advanced and you have that pistol squat, you can certainly utilize that, go to that. Okay, if training with the weight is going to help you come up from the bottom a little bit more, also that's a great option. About 45 seconds, guys, is what we're working with here to finish out our squats. Rick's going to show off for us a little bit there and hit that pistol squat, or at least maybe just do one. Just do one. It's all right. We got 5 and 5. Again, most importantly, toe, knee, hip in alignment. First movement is boom, booty goes back. You can see Rick is driving his hips back first and foremost, keeping his chest elevated, which is creating a nice, strong squatting position. Okay, we're done here in about 30 seconds. So again, no rush to finish. Taking your time as we're moving through our last set of squats in house, depending on where you're at. Just make sure you're even on your squats. You don't really have to focus on getting even on your bicep curls, because if you got more top end or bottom end, not a big deal. About 15 seconds left to finish out, guys. If you're done, if you're at a good stopping point, you can rest and breathe. We'll talk about what's coming next. 2 movements, 5 minutes, and we're out of here, guys. Okay, we'll move on with our Wednesday. So that's our time. Really, really good work, team. Again, rest, take a second. We'll utilize the next 90 seconds, whatever we need to. Start the timer, get our 5 minutes in. Last one is challenging, okay? Again, where we're just working down the board. We've got everything going from our lats to our shoulders, our high pulls, our rows, our biceps. I'm now going to ask you to be in a plank position and work a painter. So back to your toes and then back up. Same arm, reach it down, back, and back up. So 5 painters. Again, you can drag the bell on the floor, flipping it up, flipping it down. It should start down between your legs, pull up to the top, and then right back down as 1. You have 5 on the right side, 5 on the left, and then you're going to do 10 bell hops. I'm going to have Rick demonstrate a bell hop because it requires 2 hands, and I don't have 2 hands. He's going to stand over top of it. He's just going to come up. That's plenty. You don't need to do any more there. He's going to burn himself out. 10 bell hops. A little bit more dynamic. Okay, again, just working on acceleration coming up off the floor. We've been working on deceleration with our squats, slowly controlling coming down. Now we're working on acceleration, getting the last little juice out of those legs, 10 bell hops. So it's 5 painters on the right, 5 painters on the left. They're going to be tough, and then 10 bell hops. Again, 3 rounds is all we need to have. Longer rest periods because these are exhausting movements, all right? We're starting in about 15 seconds. So again, if you're starting the bell out top, that's great. If you want to start it between your legs, that's great. But again, whipping it all the way up, pulling it all the way down, 5 on the right, 5 on the left. Keep your feet wide. Use your hips going up and down to help movement of that bell. Think about a snatch in a plank position is basically what we're simulating. We're going in 3, we're going in 2, and here we go. We're pulling it down, and then we're pulling it back up. We're going to do 5 on the right side, 5 on the left side. Again, use your hips, lean out of that arm. Again, the most work really is probably coming from this arm that's on the ground, okay? Rick's whole body weight plus that kettlebell is being loaded into that shoulder, okay? He's switching sides now. He's got 5 more on the left side, and then he's going to get into those bell hops. Again, You don't have to drag it and create the friction. You can kind of lift it and flip it. But again, whatever's gonna be best for you, in-house, however you wanna challenge yourself with these painters, okay? If this is not working for you, or you're following along and you don't have a kettlebell, okay? Reaching under those opposite arm, leg, toe touches. So you would just be reaching your right hand, touching back to your left toe, coming back out, right to left toe. Good, always a great option, even just to work that mobility and planking your shoulders. Okay, he's gonna jump into his bell hops next. Okay, no pun intended. He is gonna jump, hopping up off the floor. Again, doesn't have to be a high hop, just has to be enough acceleration to get his feet up off the ground for 10. His core is tight, he's exploding up. He's basically building up lots of lactic acid right now in his thighs. Okay, that's what's gonna create that burn and that stiffness, guys, okay? Good job. Took us about 90 seconds to complete one round, which is great. Yeah, reaching out a little bit more, getting that shoulder extension, exactly. So again, whatever you have at home to utilize, that's great. If you don't have a weight, again, not a big deal. Just reaching under, tapping that toe. Or like Rick said, he's reaching back to his feet and then past his planted arm for 5. 5 on the right and then 5 on the left. Again, tough movements. So again, take as much break as you need. This is our last grouping of 5 minutes, team. So stay with us here as we continue to push. Finish your Wednesday workout, your squat and pull. We have completed more than 25 minutes of work, guys. We're on our way to completing 30 minutes of actual work. You're doing a great job. Reaching under, pulling that baby back out. 5 on the right, 5 on the left, followed by 10 bell hops. Great job, guys. Continue to breathe. Continue to push that pace that meets you where you're at today, guys. That one's a tough one, catching his breath, followed by a pretty nasty one to follow that one up with these 10 bell hops. Again, squatting, lifting up with those legs, accelerating, but keeping your core tight, not letting that bell arch your back or pull you over, okay? Again, eyes up, chest up. Where your eyes go, your chest will follow. It's great work. Hopping, flying right off that floor in-house. Rest, take a second. We are 3 minutes in. Okay, we have 2 minutes left. Rick's gonna probably enjoy another 15 or 20 seconds rest, which will give about 90 seconds to finish out his 3rd and final round, which is exactly the amount of time we have left, depending on what your pace is at home. Continue to work, okay? But if you do get 3 rounds and you feel like your form is starting to get sloppy, feel free to shut it down after your 3 rounds. You've gotten all the work you need to do today. He's gonna dive right back in, folks. We're right back on pace. 5 more painters on the right, 5 more painters on the left for Rick getting in the work today. Again, feet wide in the back is always a good base. And really focusing on that plant arm, widening those fingers out, really gripping that floor with the hand that's on the ground to create that strong base. Anytime you only have 3 points of contact to the floor, creates a much stronger position in that hand. Okay, done with those painters. Still got about a minute on the clock. Again, no rush. Might take, again, 15 seconds inside these painters. Knock out 10 bell hops. And then, again, if you want to be done, you certainly can. You've earned it. Again, we're creeping in on that 50-minute mark, guys, okay, for our time that we have associated for our lunch. Okay, he's right back in, guys, back in these bell hops. Flying up through the ceiling here. We got 10 in-house. Great job, team. Just over 30 seconds left. Again, pushing that pace. Really, really good work. If you completed 3 rounds and you're good, virtual high five for you guys. You can stop. You can keep on working if you want. If you're there working that 4th round of painters, that's great. If you want to, again, continue to push that 4th round of bell hops, you guys are animals. You guys have been crushing the Zoom. Rick has done it here in-house. I'm basically done. I'm just going to work your timer all the way out, guys. It's been a joy being back on camera. I appreciate you guys having me, dealing with me today. We're done in 5 seconds, guys. We're done in 3, in 2, and that's our time, guys. Again, really good job to you. Really, really good work. Bring it down to your back potentially for a cool down, hugging both your knees and your chest, or just kind of finding a position where you can just connect your spine, start to work on your breathing here. As we start to wrap up May, guys, we will be getting a newsletter out to you next Tuesday. It's going to have lots of information, but I'm just going to go ahead and spill the beans for some of you guys that are on the call. Let's see. Right now, currently, the partnership with High Ride Cycle and the River Yoga are on pause because just like we're limiting classes to members only, they're going to do the same thing as they start to open back up. It just makes sense. We're going to revisit that partnership back in August. So for the next 2 months, unfortunately, or until further notice, we're not going to be able to utilize their classes. We got to respect them just like they've been doing us. Let's see, we'll have our member of the month in there. Won't spill the beans on who that's going to be. That'll be a little surprise for you, a little nugget of happiness for you to read into that. And then we will be reopening 5 Points location, guys, tentatively June 15th. We are going to bump class sizes up next week a little bit more so more people can get in, see how that goes, and then hopefully be able to handle quite a bit more load once we open 5 Points around June 15th. Obviously, 2 locations, double the class sizes. We'll be able to accommodate more people. But we're hoping by then more people are interested in coming back to the studio. Obviously, if you're not, again, that's a one-off scenario. We'll talk to you about that. Other than that, guys, that's kind of a little insight as to what's going on. More information will be put out via Instagram and the newsletter. If you're joining us this Saturday for the bike ride, we're going to put out the route. We're going to meet over at the GT. Potentially, there might be some rain coming now. So we may adjust the time. Again, just continue to follow us on social media.
Later, guys.